back. I'm Kirsten from JK Fiber Arts. Today is stage 10 of the 2024 Tour de Fleece, and I have a sock spin I want to do. And I'm going to show you this marvelous fiber here, and we'll talk about what we're going to do with it. What I have here is Superwash Merino from Camash Fiber Arts, one of their blends. I can't remember if it was a spinning box or if I purchased this, but regardless, it's beautiful. And then this is the Silver Fox, and this is Merino and not Superwash Merino, just regular Merino and Mohair locks, or I'm sorry, kid Mohair. It's really pretty. I love the sheen on this, and that's what that Mohair does. So what we are going to do, I want to make a 3-ply sock spin. I want to do 3 singles. I'm debating, so I have 120 grams of this, 117 of this gray, and I would like to do my sock in a 3-ply. I'm debating, I mean, obviously I'm gonna have a lot left over and I can do other stuff with it, but I am debating what, isn't this gonna look beautiful together though? I mean, just look at that. I think it's gonna look really cool. My decision-making process was whether I wanted to do 2 gray and 1 color, or 2 color, 1 gray. I think I want to do 2 gray, 1 color. And then the other thing I needed to decide, which I think I've already talked myself out of, was whether or not I wanted to do this as a progressive and strip it, but I don't, because for socks it'd be really hard to make it come out reasonably close. So I may spin this from the fold, possibly, because it doesn't matter if I do woolen prep, a woolen spin for this, because it's superwash, so whatever you do, it's going to be awesome. So I am going to, I believe what I'm going to do, and what I think I'm going to do right now is just tear a little bit of this off, just to kind of get a sense here, and then I'm going to strip it. And then I'm going to pull a little piece of this gray. There we go. And I'm going to try, and I'm going to make this a little thinner. So I'm going to make, roughly by eyeballing, not by weight, I'm going to do 2 gray and 1 color. And I'm just going to do a little hand ply here and see if I even come close to liking what it is. There we go. I'm just going to kind of draft this out a little bit and apply it together here and see if I like what that does. And this is a very rough and ready. I think this is going to look okay. So this one is the 2 gray and 1 color. And I think what happens, so down here, so when I untwist this, we can kind of see where everything is. My gray, I think, slid down. So this is more like 1 gray up here, which is a good thing, because now I can see down here is the 2 gray. At this end, it's more of the 2 gray and the 1 pinkish color, and we'll see how that looks. So this is more what you're gonna get with the, and this is why, this is sort of the cheesy way of not doing a swatch, or not doing a test spin. But if I do 2 gray and 1 color, it's gonna look more like that. And if I do 2 color, 1 gray, it's gonna look more like this, more like that. Although obviously it's gonna be a 3-ply, but I think I've talked myself out of doing. Originally I was gonna do 2 gray, 1 color, but now I think I'm gonna do 2 color, 1 gray for my ply. That's what I'm gonna do, because I think I like the color pop in there a little more than the gray dominating. I like the color to dominate with the gray highlights, because this is more the full-on 2 gray, 1 color, and it's more of a gray yarn with a little bit of color. I think I like the color with a little bit of gray. So let's do it. Let's do it that way. And just gotta throw this stuff off to the side here. So what I'm going to do, so we're gonna do 1/3 gray, 2/3 color. So I'm not gonna spin all of this up. I only need 4 ounces for my socks. So I'm gonna do 1/3 the color and 1/3, I'm gonna do 2/3 of the superwash and 1/3 of the gray. Another super cool thing that we could do would be to spin this the way it is, take some of this and spin it from the fold, same WPI, and so it would be, and chain ply it would be stripy, and have that for the heel and the toe. Wouldn't that look cool? That would be very cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna try that. And if I decide I don't like it, no harm, because I have the yarn I can make the whole sock with. So let's do that. So now I know. Let's get on the wheel and get this started. So I think that I'm gonna spin this stuff from the fold, these 2 singles. I'm gonna spin this one straight. And we're gonna do, I'm gonna spin woolen, I don't care. I'm spinning woolen. This is superwash wool, doesn't matter, and the mohair, and this is gonna give it nice strength, and it's gonna have a little bit of a halo from the mohair anyways, so I'm not concerned about it pilling and weakness. So we are going to spin long draw-ish and get these singles ready to roll. Here we have the superwash merino, which is what we're going to spin first, and then we're going to do this. So we're going to break off a piece here. I know we just did spin from the fold, but this is, I think, going to look the best, so we're going to do it that way. The other thing is I've done a ply back test, and this is how thin my 2-ply is, and this is what I want. And that gives me a single around a 40 to 42 single, somewhere in there, 40. And this is what I would like to have for my yarn. And that gives me a, I guess I should do it this way. Let's try it like this. There is my single ply, or my 2-ply ply back here. And that is looking to be about a 18. So that is an 18 2-plied. So that'll give me about what I want for my 3-ply. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes out. And we'll just refer back to that. It's been a while since I've made a, done the actual tying off the knot and showing it to you. So let's get started here. So just like before, we're gonna spin from the fold. Only with the superwash, it is so fine that I can really get it going here. I just need to find my sweet spot. There we are. So, in this one, you can really see how far you can draw back. And you get it nice and thin, lots of twist. And there's not, this is a much easier thin spin than the thicker from the fold that we were doing. So this one, in order for it to stay really thin, you're gonna draw back fairly quickly, and you're gonna let less fiber into this. So if you look here, where I'm spinning from, you can see this is my drafting triangle here. And I'm just letting a little bit of fiber from that triangle come down into there. See how very little it is? It's almost nothing. And then and my draw is set very low, so it's not pulling this on very fast at all. There's almost no draw. That's why I can just sort of pull back, and this is such a smooth fiber. It just falls out of the drafting triangle. It's so very easy to spin. Now, that being said, I think that spinning from the fold for this superwash makes it much easier than any of the other techniques because of how fine it is, and it really does lend itself when you have something this slippery. Same thing, like with silk, also spins really well from the fold. But you can really see, if I had a longer arm, I could just keep on going forever. It was super long draw. All right, let's check something here, make sure we're not getting too crazy. I don't think we are. No, I'm spot on. That's 40. This is sort of my default spin for this, so this is something that I'm very good at. This is my sweet spot for spinning. All this other stuff that I do is me trying to stretch my comfort zone. This is my plyback test here. And here is the sample. And we'll just look at that and see. So my sample's even a little bit thinner. So I think that I'm gonna go even thinner now. The apply angle is lovely though, I like that. Let's see if you can tell the difference here. I think you can really see the difference on the black background. So you can see that I need a little more twist and I need a little thinner, but I think if I add the more twist, it's gonna actually compress it to that WPI. So let's put more twist in. More twist. The other way that you can make this thinner too is by drawing back faster. But that is a double-edged sword because if you draw back too fast, you're gonna break your fiber. So you wanna be careful. Yeah, you wanna draft back. You can pull it back fast. See how fast I pull it? It gets really thin there. But I can feel it when I do that. I can feel that, oh yeah, that's gonna break soon. So I slow my treadle down a little bit. Sometimes if I'm cutting it really close, I'll just reach out and pinch it. If I'm like, oh, that's gonna go. Yep, those are very, very close to being the same here, if you can see that now. See that? Especially here at this end. Right here is where it's perfect. And it's a little bit thicker here, but it's also closer to where it's up here near my drafting triangle, so that's gonna get a little thinner as we come down. I also, and I've mentioned this before as well, I love spinning from the fold because it's kind of like, you know, just like the roll-ags, I love spinning from roll-ags because you feel like you accomplish so much in a short time. Because you're like, oh, I'm just gonna do this one section, and you pull off your bit, you put it on your hand, and away you go. And then you feel like you accomplished so much. And you're like, oh, I could do one more. That was only 5 minutes. I could do one more. That was only 5 minutes. They're kind of like those James Patterson novels where you take little bites. You know, chapters like 2 pages. You're like, oh, I could read one more chapter. I could spin one more of these. It's just, I love, love, love spinning like this. This is one of my favorite things, just to draw it back and just feels so good. And this superwash merino is so very soft and slippery. And you'll notice here my right hand is just giving me a little bit of tension to pull against, because remember how I was talking about how my draw is so low on this, that it's not really drawing hardly at all. So I have to give a little tension with my right hand so that I don't, when I pull back, I don't just pull it off the bobbin, you know, unwind it. And again, when I'm doing this, I have a tight grip down here on these 2 fingers. I am not gripping tight here. This is just coming right off the tip. So again, you don't even have to keep it on your finger. I could just hold it like this and do it, and it's the same exact thing. So it doesn't really matter. Here, I'm not holding tight by the drafting triangle. I'm holding tight on my pinky finger, and my ring finger are holding those tails so that they don't slide out and get all jumbled. Look at that, I'm almost as straight as my arm can go, and it's still going. It's so pretty. Let's measure this one. This one is very, very fine. Look at how fine it is. I love it. It makes me happy. Oh yeah, this one's probably like a 45. Let's see. Let's do a plyback. This might be a little, I might have gotten a little carried away and made like really, really fine lace. Yeah, that's a little too thin. I got a little carried away. Gotta watch me all the time. Here's our tester. It looks like a tree trunk compared to what I just spun. Yeah, I got a little carried away. Here is the, and this is why we do this, so we can check it out. So here's my plyback that I like, and this is the plyback test that I just spun. It's so thin. So I will spin that a little bit thicker now. Just a touch here. I don't want to make it too thick, but Oh, what did I do? See, I broke it. It was getting very thin. That's okay. Oh, this might be a good time to show you a trick, although I can see it, darn it. If I can't find the end, I was gonna show you how to do the toothbrush thing, which is quite handy. Now this is where, so this is why I always get upset if I break it. If you break your superwash merino, it is a bit maddening because it is very slippery. So you really have to keep a finger on it so that it doesn't unwind, because if the twist comes out of it, it's just gonna break over and over and over again, and you're gonna lose a lot of fiber that way. And I've had some other questions about, you know, the bit getting they end up with like a clump of fiber in the palm of their hand when they're done. And that usually is because you've let go of the tails, or the tails are too long. If they're too long down here, they're gonna twist together, and then you're gonna get that kind of mud color at the end where the tails of all of them are just gonna spin together. And that's what you'll be left with in your hand. So as long as you're kind of holding that tight in the back, you're gonna keep drawing on the colors that are next in line. So when I get to the end of this, I won't have like a big clump of random colors in my hand. And now as I'm getting to the end, you know, obviously at some point you have to relax on those. So that's what I'm doing now. And I want to make sure though that I leave a little end. So you see, I don't have anything in my hand, and it doesn't bunch up, and the color is still uniform. It's not blending. That's tight here, loose here. All right, so I am going to keep doing this, spinning from the fold, and then I will be back and we will do the silver fox, which I'm really looking forward to. We are ready to spin our silver fox, the Merino Mohair, and I have my plyback test from the other, the Superwash Merino single. And we are going to try to match that. So I know that I want it to be at least a 40, if not a 42 or so. So we're just gonna start off spinning this. I'm just gonna spin this straight and see how it goes. And you never know, I may end up actually doing this from the fold just because it's easier to spin these slippery fibers from the fold. Already this is a little thicker than I want it to be. So let's see if this is going to be the answer for me or not. Let's take a look and see where we are right out of the box. So right out of the box, that is too fat. Way too fat. I didn't even have to check it really. I knew it was too fat. When something like this breaks, and you can see here's the end where it broke, I take that piece and I just throw it off to the side because it's going to be hard. If it already has twist in it and this has twist in it, it's very hard to get it to join. So you want to start with the fiber that's fuzzy so that it catches. I'm still trying to do this new technique that I was trying to learn. Still not convinced that it's my favorite, but keep trying it. All right, now let's see where we are. I think this might actually be okay, this thickness. I like this. This might be good. Let's see what we get here. So this is a 40. This is probably a 41. Let's see what we look like with our plyback test. Oh, that's beautiful. It's still, though, a little thicker than what I want. You see that? Although it is gorgeous. Oh, and what a sheen. Holy moly, this is going to be beautiful. So I really like that. But it does need to be just a touch thinner. And if I continue to have some difficulty here, I'm going to give this another minute. And if I'm not feeling like I'm getting it dialed in, then I'm going to spin from the fold, and I think I'll be able to reproduce it a lot easier that way. But I wanted to let you guys see both. And this, again, very slippery fiber. Not as slippery as the superwash, but still very slippery. Again, let's check it here. I think we might have it now. Oh, that's beautiful. I think that this is going to be it. Needs just a little bit more twist. Oh, look at that. Oh. So it needs a little more twist because it's a little bit thick. So somewhere between too thick and too thin is where I am. There we go. That's closer. Still a little thick. All right, let's spin from the fold and see if we can get what we want. Let's see if spinning from the fold is going to be the answer for this. So we're just breaking off a piece that doesn't stick too far out from the bottom here of your palm. Tease that little bit off over the top here. Tease a little bit of that fiber out. And immediately it's a lot easier because spinning from the fold just makes it so much easier to spin these slippery fibers. So if you're struggling with a slippery fiber, spinning from the fold will help. Seems like I've been between too thin and too thick on this gray. We just need to figure it out already. So now that should be money. Let's see what we get. We're looking pretty darn perfect here. So I have found it, finally, after much ado. There we go. So now I can see that that matches. I like it. Spinning from the folds, giving me what I want. Let's see, you see it better over on this side? So spinning from the fold is giving me what I want, and we are all set here. So we're gonna keep going. But that is why I have my plyback test. So we can always reference that and make sure that we're not getting off course. So I will keep working on this silver fox. And this takes me a little bit longer, so you're gonna have, you know, probably another day in between these where I'm not finished. So I'm gonna keep working on spinning this. My plan is to have this one completely done and the final yarn up before I leave for the beach on Friday. So my hope is Thursday night I will have something to show you. Until next time, spin happy.